So, dear friends, once again it's very hearty and warm welcome. All of you are known, we have started the study of second chapter, that is reproduction in lower and higher animals. And as all of you are aware, we have completed last time the study of male reproductive system, and therefore today we are going to start the study of another major topic related with human reproduction, that is female reproductive system. In our today's lecture, we are going to study about female reproductive system. So let us start the study of this topic. The female reproductive system, it consists of different organs, it consists of different parts such as ovaries, oviducts, uterus, vagina, vulva, and Bartholin's gland or vestibular glands. Actually, in our textbook, in addition to these different organs, also the breast is also given as a part of female reproductive system. But as we all are known that breasts in female are not actually the reproductive organ. The breast does not play any role in the process of reproduction, but the breasts are considered as a secondary sexual character in female, and that's why we shall study about that breast separately as secondary sexual character in female. So as far as concerned with the female reproductive system, here we are going to consider the 6 major parts such as ovaries, oviducts, uterus, vagina, vulva and Bartholin's gland. अर्थात या ठिकाणी आता आपण फिमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह सिस्टीमच्या अभ्यासाला सुरुवात केली आहे आणि फळ्यावर मी फिमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह सिस्टीमचे जे मुख्य भाग आहेत ते फळ्यावर लिहिलेले आहेत. जसं आता मी म्हटलं की ब्रेस्ट हा पण भाग फिमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह सिस्टीमचा म्हणून आपल्या टेक्स्टबुक मध्ये दिलेला आहे, पण प्रत्यक्ष ब्रेस्ट हे रिप्रोडक्शन मध्ये काहीही भाग घेत नाही, त्याला सेकंडरी सेक्शुअल कॅरेक्टर असं म्हणतात आणि त्यामुळे त्याचा अभ्यास आपण स्वतंत्र करणार आहे. So let us start the study of all these different parts one by one each. We have to consider first of all about the ovaries, and to understand all these parts properly, first of all here I am going to draw outline diagram of female reproductive system. Now here you can see I am going to show these are supposed to be the ovaries. Here I am going to show oviducts, these are the oviducts, of course the ovaries and oviducts both are paired structures, these are paired structures. Here I am going to show the left oviduct, left ovary, left oviduct, right ovary, right oviduct. Now here let us consider uterus, third part, that is uterus. Here I am going to show the uterus. actually this lower part, what I have shown, that is also the part of uterus called as cervix, we shall study. Then here is a muscular tube, that is vagina. Here is a vagina. Now vulva is actually the term given to the external female genitalia. External female genitalia. You must try to understand. External genitalia means the organs which are visible externally. The parts of reproductive system which are visible externally are called external genitalia. अर्थात रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह सिस्टीमचे जे भाग बाहेरून आपल्याला दिसू शकतात, जे दृश्य भाग आहेत, त्यांना म्हटलं जातं एक्सटर्नल जेनिटॅलिया. व्हाईल स्टडीइंग मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह सिस्टीम, मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह सिस्टीम शिकत असताना तुमच्या लक्षात असेल द पेनिस अँड स्क्रोटम. The penis and scrotum, these are only the visible part of male reproductive system. अर्थात मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह सिस्टीम मध्ये स्क्रोटम आणि पेनिस हे फक्त दृश्य भाग आहेत, म्हणून त्यांना मेल एक्सटर्नल जेनिटॅलिया म्हणतात. मेल एक्सटर्नल जेनिटॅलिया. आणि या ठिकाणी फिमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह सिस्टीमचे जे दृश्य भाग आहेत, एक्सटर्नल पार्ट्स आहेत, विजिबल पार्ट्स आहेत, त्यांना एकत्रितपणे म्हटलं जातं वल्वा. Female external genitalia. So here it is not possible to show now. We shall study it definitely. And there are presence of Bartholin's gland. These are very small pea-sized glands. About that we shall study there. Now let us start the study of ovaries. Ovaries चा अभ्यास या ठिकाणी आता आपण सुरू करतोय. You know that the ovaries here. Here is a left ovary, here is a right ovary. All of you are known that ovary is nothing but the female gonad. Ovary is nothing but the female gonad, or ovary is considered as primary sex organ. Primary sex organ in female. Primary sex organ in female. There are two ovaries, means the ovaries are paired structure. You can see in diagram, these are two in number. Ovaries are mesodermal in origin. Mesodermal in origin. It means the ovaries are derived from the mesoderm. You know, it is one of the germ layer. We have studied about the germ layers little bit in our 11th class. And again you will come across about the germ layer in this chapter also. So temporarily you just remember, out of that three germ layers, ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, during embryonic growth the ovaries they develop from the mesoderm. अर्थात एम्ब्रियोची वाढ होत असताना मेसोडर्म पासून ओव्हरीज या डेव्हलप होत असतात, म्हणून या ठिकाणी मी लिहिलं की ओव्हरीज आर मेसोडर्मल इन ओरिजिन. Let us talk about the average size of each ovary. Average size of each ovary. It is about 3 by 1.5 by 1 centimeter. It means 3 centimeter in length, 1.5 centimeter in width and 1 centimeter in thickness. Externally, ovary does not appear smooth. Externally, ovaries does not appear smooth, but externally ovary show blistered appearance. Blistered appearance. Blistered appearance. Blistered in the sense, externally it shows many bubble-like structure along its surface. Many bubble-like structure. Do you know blister? Blister means a small bubbles can develop over our skin due to some burning, due to some friction, bruises, etc. याचा अर्थ काही भाजलं गेल्यावर वगैरे आपल्या त्वचेवर जे फोड येतात लहान लहान, त्यांना ब्लिस्टर असं म्हणतात. मग या ठिकाणी ओव्हरीचं जे एक्सटर्नल अपीअरन्स आहे, एक्सटर्नली ओव्हरीज आपल्याला स्मूथ दिसत नाही, तर ओव्हरीज अपीअर ब्लिस्टर्ड एक्सटर्नली. व्हाय? बिकॉज द ओव्हरी shows many developing follicles within it. ओव्हरीमध्ये असंख्य डेव्हलपिंग फॉलिकल्स असतात. आता फॉलिकल्स म्हणजे काय, दॅट वी शॅल डिस्कस लेटर ऑन व्हाईल स्टडींग द इंटरनल स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ ओव्हरी. ओव्हरीचं इंटरनल स्ट्रक्चर, हिस्टॉलॉजिकल स्ट्रक्चर, आंतररचना शिकत असताना आपल्याला फॉलिकल्स काय, कोणत्या प्रकारचे फॉलिकल्स हे सगळं कळणार आहे. बट नाव here I want to tell you that the ovary externally show blistered appearance due to many developing follicles within it. Now the ovaries, the most important, the ovaries are located far below in the abdominal cavity, below the kidneys. You know, kidneys are present in the lumbar region. We have studied in 11. किडनीचा अभ्यास आपण 11वीत केलाय. We know that the kidneys are located in the lumbar region and ovaries are located below kidneys in the lower part of abdominal cavity. Abdominal cavityच्या खालच्या भागामध्ये or somewhat we can say in the pelvic cavity. म्हणजे कमरेच्या भागामध्ये सर्वसाधारण ovaries या प्रेझेंट असतात on both the sides of uterus. You know, here is the uterus. मराठीत युटेरसला गर्भाशय असं म्हणतात. त्याचा अभ्यास आपण करणार आहोत. अर्थात या युटेरसच्या दोन्ही बाजूला ओव्हरीज या प्रेझेंट असतात इन द पेल्विक रिजन. नाउ द ओव्हरीज आर सपोर्टेड बाय डिफरंट लिगामेंट्स. ओव्हरीज आर सपोर्टेड बाय डिफरंट लिगामेंट्स. ओके, नाउ हियर आई एम गोइंग टू टेल यू, लिसन व्हेरी केअरफुली. द ओव्हरीज आर सपोर्टेड बाय a broad ligament. First of all, ovaries are supported by a broad ligament. Let me show with the help of yellow chalk. Just imagine here is supposed to be a broad ligament. Do you know ligament? In 11th we have studied ligament, nothing but the elastic band-like structure. Elastic band-like structure. Here, whatever I am going to show, this is entire ligament. It is very large, very broad, very large, very broad ligament. This is a broad ligament. Actually, this broad ligament is nothing but the double fold of peritoneum. Double fold of peritoneum. आता या ठिकाणी हे जे ब्रॉड लिगामेंट मी दाखवली आहे, ही ब्रॉड लिगामेंट नॉट ओनली सपोर्ट द ओव्हरी, नॉट ओनली सपोर्ट द ओव्हरीज, बट also support the oviducts, also support the uterus. Okay, so here I am telling you about the support to the ovaries, and these broad ligament or double fold of peritoneum which gives support to the ovary have specific name known as mesovarium. Double mesovaria. आता थोडंसं कळलं पाहिजे. या ठिकाणी शब्दाचा आपण बघा, मेसोव्हेरिया, मेज ओव्हॅरिया. You know, here ovaria, this word stands for what? ओव्हरीज. अर्थात ओव्हरीजला सपोर्ट करणारा ब्रॉड लिगामेंटचा जो भाग त्याला आपण म्हणू मेसोव्हेरिया. In addition to that, the ovary is attached or anchored with the uterus medially. Look, with the uterus medially. Here is another ligament. ही इथे आणखी मी लिगामेंट दाखवलेली आहे. It is also ligament. It attaches the ovaries, both ovaries medially to the uterus. या ठिकाणी दोन्ही ओव्हरीज युटेरसला या लिगामेंटच्या मदतीने जोडलेली असतात. अर्थात या लिगामेंट्सला म्हटलं जातं ओव्हॅरियन लिगामेंट. या लिगामेंटला म्हटलंय ओव्हॅरियन लिगामेंट. Let me label it. This is supposed to be ovarian ligament. And the ovaries are also attached to the lateral body wall, also attached to the lateral body wall by means of one another, we can say, ligament known as suspensory ligament. Suspensory ligament. This suspensory ligament, it attaches ovary to the lateral body wall. Lateral body wall अर्थात लॅटरल बॉडी वॉलला या ओव्हरीला जोडण्याचे कार्य सस्पेन्सरी लिगामेंट करत असतं. मग या ठिकाणी मी ओव्हरीचा सपोर्ट कसा दिलेला असतो याबाबत बोलत होतो. सो हियर वी वर डिस्कसिंग ओनली अबाउट सम ऑफ द एक्सटर्नल फीचर्स ऑफ ओव्हरी. एक्सटर्नल फीचर्स ऑफ ओव्हरी. वी शॅल टॉक अबाउट द इंटरनल स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ ओव्हरी इन डिटेल लॅटर ऑन. काय काय बोललो ओव्हरी बाबत आतापर्यंत ते थोडक्यात उजळणी देतो. आय सेड दॅट ओव्हरीज आर female gonads. These are primary female sex organs. Ovaries are 2 in number. Ovaries are mesodermal in origin. Ovaries are located in the lower part of abdominal cavity or in the pelvic cavity on both the sides of uterus. On both the sides of uterus, the size of each ovary is near about 3 by 1.5 by 1 centimeter. Externally, ovary shows blistered appearance due to presence of many developing follicles inside it. And about the support, I told you ovaries are supported by 3 ligaments. First, broad ligament called mesovaria, then ovarian ligament with which the ovaries are connected to the uterus, and suspensory ligament with which ovary is connected to the lateral body wall, pelvic body wall. Because of these 3 ligaments, the ovaries are held at particular position. Now, what is the function of ovary? Very simple. We know that ovaries are female gonad. So, ovaries are primarily responsible for the production of female gamete, that is ova or egg cells. Egg cells. Female gamete, that is egg cell. This is the main function. And in addition to that, the ovaries are also responsible for the secretion of hormones. Secretion of hormones. Here I am going to tell you orally. The ovaries secrete in all 5 hormones such as estrogen, progesterone, relaxin, activin and inhibin. 5 hormones. Okay, we shall study about all those slowly later on. So here is about the ovaries. Now let us move to the oviducts. Let us talk about the oviducts. Oviducts, these are paired, elongated and muscular tubes which lie horizontally with respect to the uterus. You can see in diagram, the uterus is somewhat vertically placed, and with respect to uterus, these 2 tubes are horizontally placed. So these are 2 oviducts. These are 2 elongated muscular tubes, length about 10 to 12 centimeter. These oviducts are also called as fallopian tubes. Fallopian tubes. These oviducts are also called fallopian tubes because these oviducts, first of all studied by an Italian anatomist, Italian scientist, namely Gabriel Fallopius. Gabriel Fallopius या सायंटिस्टने सर्वप्रथम या ओव्हिडक्टचा अभ्यास केला, म्हणून त्याच्या नावावरून या ओव्हिडक्ट्सला फॅलोपियन ट्यूब्स असं पण नाव दिलं जातं. नाउ हियर यू कॅन सी that the oviducts or fallopian tubes, they run from ovary up to the uterus. It means one end of oviduct is close to the ovary and another end opens into the uterus. अर्थात या ओव्हिडक्टचं दोन्ही ओव्हिडक्टचं एक टोक हे ओव्हरीच्या अगदी जवळ आहे आणि दुसरं टोक हे युटेरस मध्ये उघडतं. नाउ दिस each oviduct is divisible into 4 regions. या ओव्हिडक्टचं 4 regions मध्ये विभागणी होत असते. 4 regions मध्ये विभागणी होत असते. such as first infundibulum. Let me write here infundibulum. Second ampulla. Third isthmus. And fourth uterine segment. So let us talk one by one each. Infundibulum, ampulla, isthmus and uterine segment. आता या प्रत्येकाचा आपल्याला थोडक्यात विचार करायचा आहे. First infundibulum. Now please look at the diagram. Okay, let me draw here another diagram also for your proper understanding. Suppose here is ovary and here I am going to show the infundibulum. Infundibulum, it is proximal and funnel shaped structure. It is proximal and funnel shaped structure which lie very close to the ovary. Please give attention. You know that here is oviduct. Is that clear? This funnel shaped part, here again I have shown this funnel shaped part which lie very close to the ovary is known as infundibulum. Now as this infundibulum is funnel like, its opening is known as ostium. Its opening is called ostium, and this ostium obviously lie very close to the ovary. The ostium is encircled by 7 to 8 motile finger-like structures. 7 to 8 motile finger-like structures. It means there are presence of 7 to 8 finger-like structures along the margin of ostium. जो ostium आहे, that is the opening of infundibulum. Infundibulumचं जे opening आहे त्याच्या margin वर 7 ते 8 finger-like आणि motile structures असतात. Motile याचा अर्थ they show the motility, they show the movement, okay, and that we can say finger-like projections, that 7 to 8 finger-like projections are known as fimbriae. These are known as fimbriae. The fimbriae also show presence of cilia. या fimbriae वर cilia पण present असतात. Now what is the role of fimbriae, ostium and infundibulum? याचं कार्य काय? Just few minutes before we have seen the ovaries are primarily responsible for the formation of ova, female gametes, egg cells. अर्थात या ठिकाणी ओव्हरी मधून एग सेल, अंडपेशी, ओव्हम हे शेड आउट केल्यानंतर, रिलीज केल्यानंतर, of course the ovary releases that egg cell in the abdominal cavity. ओव्हरी मधून एग सेल हे abdominal cavity मध्ये रिलीज केलं जातं, but immediately that egg cell, that ovum, that female gamete is captured by this fimbriae, and due to the beating of cilia, that ovum is directed into the infundibulum through ostium. अर्थात या ओव्हरी मधून जे एग सेल, अंडपेशी, फिमेल गॅमेट बाहेर टाकलं जातं, त्याला पकडून सिलियांच्या मदतीने त्याला या ठिकाणी ऑस्टियम मधून इन्फंडिब्युलम मध्ये ढकलून देण्याचं काम, त्याला डायरेक्ट करण्याचं कार्य हे इन्फंडिब्युलमचं आहे. म्हणजे infundibulum is responsible to capture and to receive the ovum shedded out by the ovary. Infundibulum is followed by second part, that is ampulla. You can look here in this diagram. Here is the ampulla. Ampulla is quite long, wide and thin walled part. It is quite long, wide and thin walled part. It is quite wide part, and this ampulla is internally lined by ciliated epithelium. Internally it shows the presence of cilia. Internally it shows the presence of cilia. This is supposed to be the ampulla. It shows presence of cilia internally. Actually, this ampulla is considered as the site of fertilization. It means this ovum is conveyed into the ampulla, and here actually fertilization takes place. Here actually fertilization takes place. Okay, that you will come across later on again, but temporarily you just remember that this ampulla, it provides favorable environment for the process of fertilization, and that's why the ampulla is considered as the site of fertilization. याचा अर्थ मेल कडून आलेले जे स्पर्म्स असतात ते इथपर्यंत येतात आणि या ठिकाणी फर्टिलायझेशन हे घडून येत असतं. Ampulla is followed by a short, narrow and thick walled part. You can see this short, narrow and thick walled part is known as isthmus, and isthmus enters into the wall of uterus. Look at the diagram. You know, here is the wall of uterus. Isn't it? This is uterus. या ठिकाणी मी uterus दाखवले. ही uterus ची wall आहे, uterus ची भित्तिका आहे, आणि अर्थात isthmus नंतर oviductचा जो छोटासा भाग या ठिकाणी uterine wall मध्ये शिरलेला आहे and opens into the uterine cavity. This short part, this short and distal part is known as uterine segment because it enters into the uterine wall. So that's all about the oviducts, that's all about the fallopian tubes. Going to talk again. Oviducts are two elongated muscular tubes having the length of about 10 to 12 centimeter. The oviducts lie horizontally with respect to the uterus. Most important thing that the oviducts are also supported by this broad ligament. Do you remember broad ligament? Initially I told you here with the help of yellow chalk I have shown the broad ligament. This broad ligament gives support to the ovaries, gives support to the oviducts, gives support to the uterus also. Isn't it? We have seen few minutes before that the broad ligament when gives support to the ovary, then it is called mesovarium, mesovaria. But now the broad ligament giving support to the oviducts called mesosalpinx. Mesosalpinx. It is the broad ligament but giving support to what? Oviduct. So now here it is called as the mesosalpinx. We have seen just now that the oviduct is further divisible into four regions, that is proximal and funnel shaped infundibulum. It is followed by long wide ampulla. Ampulla is followed by a short thick walled and straight tube, that is isthmus, and isthmus enters into the uterine wall. That short part, distal part, oviductचा शेवटचा भाग की जो या ठिकाणी युटेरसच्या वॉल मध्ये शिरलेला आहे त्याला म्हटलं जातं युटेराइन सेगमेंट. मग कार्य काय? ओविडक्टचं कार्य काय? व्हेरी सिंपल. ओविडक्ट इट कन्व्हेज द एग ओवा फ्रॉम ओव्हरी अप टू द युटेरस. ओव्हरीने शेड आउट केलेलं जे एग सेल आहे, अंडपेशी आहे, त्या अंडपेशीला, त्या एग सेलला, त्या ओव्हमला ओव्हरी पासून युटेरस पर्यंत आणण्याचे काम. दुसरं, इट प्रोव्हाइड्स फेवरेबल एन्व्हायरमेंट फॉर द प्रोसेस ऑफ फर्टिलायझेशन. अर्थात फर्टिलायझेशनची क्रिया या ठिकाणी अँपुला पार्ट मध्ये होते, म्हणजे ओव्हिडक्ट फर्टिलायझेशन या क्रियेला मदत करत असतं किंवा इट प्रोव्हाइड्स फेवरेबल एन्व्हायरमेंट फॉर फर्टिलायझेशन. दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द ओव्हिडक्ट्स. नाउ लेट अस मूव टू द थर्ड अँड मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट, दॅट इज युटेरस. आता आपण बोलतोय तिसऱ्या भागाकडे, दॅट इज युटेरस. सो नाउ लेट अस टॉक अबाउट द युटेरस. I told you that uterus is also known as womb, गर्भाशय. It is also known as womb, गर्भाशय. या ठिकाणी आपण बघू शकता हा पूर्ण भाग हा युटेरस आहे. Uterus, it is single, you can see it is single, quite large, thick walled, muscular, hollow, elastic, sac-like structure. काय बोललो मी? I said that uterus is single. It is single. There are no two uteri. Am I right? Ovaries are two in number. Oviducts are two in number. But uterus is single. It is single. Median. It is thick-walled, slightly pear-shaped or pyriform. Pear-shaped, you know pear. It is a name of fruit whose shape is somewhat like our mango. Pear-shaped, that is broad at the upper side and slightly narrow at the lower side. It is pear-shaped, hollow, sac-like structure. Of course, it is elastic sac-like structure. Now, let me tell you about the support of uterus. The uterus is supported by broad ligament. We have already studied. I am going to repeat same thing again and again. Here is the broad ligament. Here is the broad ligament. Isn't it? That broad ligament gives support to the ovaries, gives support to the oviducts, gives support to the uterus also. But when it gives support to the uterus, then it is called mesometrium. Mesometrium means here we can say this is supposed to be the mesometrium. It is the broad ligament, no problem. Now let us talk about the size of uterus. सर्वसाधारण uterus ची size किती असते? In nulliparous woman, means the woman who has not given birth to any baby. Means the woman in which there is no pregnancy yet. अजूनपर्यंत ज्या फिमेल मध्ये प्रेग्नन्सी कन्सीव्ह झालेली नाहीये, ज्या वुमनने आतापर्यंत बाळाला जन्म दिलेला नाहीये, अशा फिमेलला म्हटलं जातं नलीपॅरस. आणि तिची साईज अशा नलीपॅरस वुमन मध्ये युटेरसची साईज ही सर्वसाधारण असते 8x5x2 सेंटीमीटर. 8x5x2 सेंटीमीटर. 8 centimeter in length, 5 centimeter in width and 2 centimeter in thickness. But in multiparous woman, multi many, just look, nulli stands for nil, nothing, paras birth. So those women who has not given birth to any baby, any young one, are nulliparous. In them the uterus is slightly comparatively smaller, size 8x5x2 centimeter. But in multiparous woman, multiparous in the sense the woman who has given birth to at least 2 or more than 2 young ones, in such women the size of uterus is slightly more. Now we have to talk about the regions of युटेरस. युटेरसचे पण भाग पाडले जातात. लुक ॲट द डायग्राम. द युटेरस इज फर्दर डिव्हिजिबल इनटू 4 regions. युटेरसचे 4 भाग पाडले जातात. लेट अस सी. The upper and dome shaped part, you can see this upper dome shaped part is known as fundus. हा जो वरचा गुंताकार भाग आहे त्याला म्हटलं जातं फंडस. सेकंड, the upper corners at which oviducts open, the upper corners at which or through which the oviducts open into the uterus known as cornua. cornua अर्थात हे जे अप्पर कॉर्नर्स आहेत की ज्या ठिकाणाहून ओव्हिडक्ट्स युटेरस मध्ये प्रवेश करतात, एंटर करतात, त्या अप्पर कॉर्नर्सला म्हटलं जातं कॉर्नुआ. द मिडल लार्जेस्ट पार्ट, द मिडल मेन पार्ट इज नोन as body or may be called as corpus. हा गर्भाशयाचा जो मुख्य भाग आहे त्याला बॉडी किंवा कॉर्पस असं म्हणतात. अँड दिस लोअर पार्ट ऑफ द युटेरस इज नोन as cervix. So I said that the uterus is further divisible into 4 regions. Upper wide and dome shaped part is known as fundus, which receives actually the oviducts, but the upper corners through which the oviducts enter and open into the uterine cavity, that corners are called as the cornua. Then this middle large and main part of uterus is called body or corpus, and lower part is known as cervix. Please listen little bit more about the cervix. The cervix, please look at the diagram. The cervix has upper opening with which it communicates with the body of uterus, isn't it? Here is the cervix, this much is the cervix. Here is one opening, here is one opening. Now this upper opening of cervix with which it communicates with the body of uterus. सर्विक्सचं हे जे ओपनिंग आहे, वरचं ओपनिंग, की ज्याच्या मदतीने हे सर्विक्स बॉडी ऑफ युटेरसला जोडलं गेलंय, कम्युनिकेट करतं, त्या ओपनिंगला म्हटलं जातं इंटरनल os. And the opening with which the cervix communicate with vagina. This is vagina. जो भाग आता इथे आपल्याला येणार आहे वजायना, चौथा भाग. अर्थात सर्विक्स ज्या ओपनिंगच्या मदतीने वजायनाशी कम्युनिकेट करतो त्या भागाला म्हटलं जातं एक्सटर्नल ऑस. And the cavity between internal os and external os is known as cervical canal. It is called cervical canal or cervix canal. In this cervix there are presence of some glands, and that glands secretes thick mucus, sticky material. अर्थात या ठिकाणी या सर्विक्सच्या आतमध्ये काही म्युकस ग्लँड्स असतात की ज्या म्युकस थिक असा स्टिकी मटेरियल सिक्रेट करत असतं, विच ब्लॉक द ओपनिंग ऑफ सर्विक्स अँड नेसेसरी ड्युरिंग प्रेग्नन्सीच्या वेळेला या ठिकाणी हे सर्विक्स ब्लॉक होणं गरजेचं असतं आणि त्या ठिकाणी ते म्युकस तयार करण्याचं काम या सर्व्हिक्सच्या आतल्या बाजूने असणाऱ्या ग्लँड्स करत असतात. दुसरी गोष्ट, हिअर at the internal os there is a presence of the biggest, largest and strongest sphincter of the human body. Biggest, I said strongest sphincter of the body. Sphincter is nothing but a circular ring-like structure made up of smooth muscles. Circular ring-like structure made up of smooth muscles. Sphincter. There are so many different sphincters present at different parts in different region of human body. अशा असंख्य sphincters आपल्या शरीरात असतात. In 11, while studying the stomach, while studying alimentary canal, we have seen about the sphincters. Anal sphincter, I hope you do remember. So I said that here at the internal os there is a presence of sphincter. This sphincter is very strongest, and because of this sphincter, the uterus can hold the developing fetus of 7 kg weight, throughout the pregnancy. You know that, against the gravitational pull also. Just try to understand. अर्थात या स्पिंक्टरमुळे त्या ठिकाणी या गर्भाशयामध्ये, ओममध्ये, युटेरसमध्ये वाढ होणारा जो गर्भ आहे, फिटस आहे, की ज्याचं वजन 7 किलो जरी असलं तरी सुद्धा तो नॅचरली बाहेर एक्सपेल होऊन जात नाही. Anyway, so this sphincter has quite great importance. Now let us talk once again about the wall of uterus. I told you that uterus is thick wall. Let me explain you. Just consider this much part of the wall of uterus. या ठिकाणी आपण हा भाग बाजूला काढून घेतला. या ठिकाणी युटेरसची वॉल थोडीशी आपण बाजूला काढतोय. The wall of uterus is made up of 3 layers. The wall of uterus is made up of 3 layers. The outer layer, सगळ्यात बाहेरचा जो लेयर आहे, this outer layer is called as perimetrium. Made up of fibrous connective tissue. सगळ्यात बाहेरचा लेयर perimetrium made up of fibrous connective tissue. Actually it is nothing but the peritoneal covering, ज्याला आपण ब्रॉड लिगामेंट म्हटलेलं आहे. Then the middle layer is thick. Middle layer is thick, muscular. Made up of smooth muscles called myometrium. युटेरसच्या वॉलचा मधला जो लेयर आहे तो थिक असतो आणि अर्थातच तो या ठिकाणी स्मूथ मसल्सने तयार झालेला असतो. याला म्हटलं जातं मायोमेट्रियम. नेम इटसेल्फ इंडिकेट. पेरी स्टँड्स फॉर सराउंडिंग, मायो स्टँड्स फॉर मसल्स. मिडल लेयर मेड अप ऑफ स्मूथ मसल्स. अँड द इनरमोस्ट लेयर which form the lining of uterus, सगळ्यात आतला लेयर की जो युटेरसचं लाइनिंग इनर लेयर तयार करतो, it is made up of ciliated as well as non-ciliated columnar epithelial cells. It is known as endometrium. Endos, inside. Endometrium. Of course, this endometrium is glandular and vascular. Means this layer shows the glands, some tubular glands. It secretes some secretion called as uterine secretion. Try to understand. या युटेरसचं जे एंडोमेट्रियम आहे, या एंडोमेट्रियम मध्ये काही ट्युब्युलर ग्लँड्स असतात आणि त्या ग्लँड्स काही सिक्रिशन सिक्रेट करतात, ज्याचा संदर्भ आपल्याला पुढे येईल. त्याला युटेराइन सिक्रिशन असं म्हणतं. आणि हा लेअर हा व्हॅस्क्युलर पण आहे, मीन्स इट हॅज अ रिच सप्लाय ऑफ ब्लड. इट इज ग्लँड्युलर अँड व्हॅस्क्युलर. वन मोर थिंग, the thickness of this endometrium, it increases or decreases in different stages of menstrual cycle. Different stages of menstrual cycle, MC मासिक पाळी, याचा अभ्यास आपण करणार आहोत. जे 28 दिवसाचं मेन्स्ट्रुअल सायकल असतं, त्या 28 दिवसाच्या मेन्स्ट्रुअल सायकल मध्ये वेगवेगळ्या स्टेजला या एंडोमेट्रियमचा थिकनेस वाढतो किंवा कमी होत असतो. इट मीन्स द थिकनेस ऑफ एंडोमेट्रियम either increases or decreases in different, we can say, phases of MC. How and why, that we shall study later on. So this is all about the wall of uterus. One point about the location of uterus. Location of uterus. Here you can see that uterus is vertically placed. It is medium. Of course, it is present ventrally in the pelvic cavity. कमरेच्या भागामध्ये आणि उभं uterus present असते. But it is present in between. It is present in between urinary bladder and rectum. Urinary bladder and rectum. Let me draw here diagram to clear your understanding. Here I am going to draw the pelvic part of body of female. Femaleच्या pelvic partचा या ठिकाणी मी एक डायग्राम काढतोय. Just look. Just imagine this is the anterior part. Anterior and ventral part of the body. This is anterior or ventral side. Anterior or ventral side. And this is posterior, back side. Posterior or dorsal side. मागची बाजू. Now, look. Here is supposed to be the urinary bladder. These are the ureters, you know, somewhere kidneys, etc. Here is urinary bladder. Just imagine. You know that here is a urethra. This is urethra. या ठिकाणी मी urethra दाखवलाय. Urethra. You know urethra, it carries urine from urinary bladder to outside the body. So this is urethral opening. हे urethraचं opening मी दाखवलेलं आहे. या ठिकाणी with the help of yellow chalk, I am going to show, suppose here is a rectum. Do you remember rectum? You know rectum, it is the posterior most part of alimentary canal. पचन संस्थेचा सगळ्यात शेवटचा भाग रेक्टम. आपल्या सगळ्यांना आठवत असेल रेक्टम, की ज्यामध्ये फिसेस साठवले जातात. फिसेस साठवले जातात आणि we know that the rectum open outside by means of anus. या ठिकाणी रेक्टम हे बाहेर anusच्या मदतीने उघडत असतं. So here is supposed to be the anus, and in between rectum and urinary bladder, here is a presence of uterus. या ठिकाणी uterus आहे. या ठिकाणी uterus आहे. या ठिकाणी uterus. मी पोझिशन सांगत होतो uterusची. Of course, uterus it bend forward at the level of internal os. हा जो internal os मी दाखवला होता, तुमच्या जर लक्षात असेल, त्या internal os च्या लेवलला ही uterus bend होते आणि या ठिकाणी अशा प्रकारे ही जी वजायना आहे, ही वजायना इथे ओपन होत असते. त्याचा आता परत आपल्याला संदर्भ येणार आहे. अर्थात हे जे मी दाखवले हे आहे uterus. This is supposed to be the cervix and here is the vagina. आपल्याला क्लिअर अंडरस्टँडिंग पाहिजे की या ठिकाणी हे युरेथ्राचं ओपनिंग आहे आणि या ठिकाणी हे वजायनाचं ओपनिंग आहे. हे वजायनाचं ओपनिंग आहे. आपल्याला पुढच्या भाग शिकत असताना येणार आहे, वल्वा शिकत असताना, द युरेथ्रा अँड वजायना ओपन into vestibule, open into a vertical median furrow or slit called as the vestibule. तो पुढे येणार आहे while studying the vulva, but temporarily just I want to tell you about the position of uterus. Uterus ची position आपल्या लक्षात आली असेल. Now what is the role of uterus? Uterus चे कार्य काय? First of all, the uterus, it provides site for the implantation and complete growth of fetus up to parturition. It provides site for implantation and complete growth of fetus during pregnancy up to parturition. Implantation, we shall study later on. Implantation means simply the developing fetus, developing embryo, it anchored with the wall of uterus. अर्थात थोडा वेळापूर्वी मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं फर्टिलायझेशन ची प्रक्रिया कुठे होत असते. फर्टिलायझेशन टेक्स प्लेस हियर, isn't it? या ठिकाणी फर्टिलायझेशन होतं इन द एम्पुला पार्ट ऑफ ओव्हिडा. फर्टिलायझेशन झाल्यानंतर तुम्हाला माहिती आहे स्पर्म आणि ओव्हम हे युनाइट होतात, झायगोट तयार होतो आणि मग तिथून एम्ब्रियोची वाढ व्हायला सुरुवात होते. एम्ब्रियोजेनेसिस सुरू होतं आणि मग ती वाढ होत असलेला गर्भ इथून इकडे आणला जातो आणि युटेरस मध्ये तो डेव्हलपिंग एम्ब्रियो युटेरसच्या वॉलला चिकटतो. याला इम्प्लांटेशन म्हणतात. दॅट वी शॅल स्टडी लेटर ऑन. द डेव्हलपिंग एम्ब्रियो इट अँकर, इट अटॅचेस टू द वॉल ऑफ युटेरस. इट इज कॉल्ड इम्प्लांटेशन. There is a formation of placenta. Placenta, you know, connecting bridge between the mother and fetus. अर्थात हे गर्भाशय आणि वाढ होत असलेला गर्भ या दोघांमध्ये प्लासेंटा तयार होतो आणि त्या ठिकाणी पूर्ण त्या गर्भाची वाढ होत असते. आणि म्हणून मी सांगितलं की युटेरस is primarily responsible for the implantation and complete growth of fetus up to the parturition. Parturition means child birth. बाळाचा जन्म होईपर्यंत. सेकंड थिंग, इट प्रोवाइड्स नरिशमेंट टू द अर्ली डेव्हलपिंग एम्ब्रियो. अर्ली डेव्हलपिंग एम्ब्रियो. थर्ड थिंग, इट हेल्प्स इन पार्च्युरेशन. इट हेल्प्स इन पार्च्युरेशन, दॅट इज डिलिव्हरी. म्हणजे बाळाचा जन्म होण्याच्या वेळेला आपण युटेरस मदत करत असतं. वी शॅल स्टडी दॅट ॲक्ट लेटर ऑन, द ॲक्ट ऑफ पार्च्युरेशन. But at the time of parturition, this uterus undergoes vigorous contraction, because of which that fully grown fetus or baby is expelled outside the body of mother. म्हणजेच गर्भाशय हे पार्च्युरेशन, चाइल्ड बर्थ यालाही मदत करत असतं. The uterus it also play important role in menstruation. Menses, menstruation. What is menstruation? We shall study in topic menstrual cycle. मासिक पाळी या क्रियेमध्ये युटेरस महत्त्वाचा रोल प्ले करत असतो. The uterus it provides pathway for sperms to reach up to the ovum. What did I say? The uterus it provides pathway to the sperms to reach up to the ovum. तुमच्या जर लक्षात असेल तर मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह सिस्टीम शिकवत असताना मी सांगितलं during sexual intercourse the semen of male get deposited somewhat here in the upper part of vagina or in the cervix part, and this semen contain millions of sperms. या semen मध्ये लाखो sperms असतात आणि हे sperms अर्थातच इथे असलेल्या ओव्हमला फर्टिलाइज करण्यासाठी अशा प्रकारे प्रवास करत असतात. म्हणजेच काय, हा uterus it provides pathway, it provides passage to the sperms to reach up to the ovum at the time of fertilization. So these are some important functions of uterus. या ठिकाणी आपण uterusचा अभ्यास केला. Now let us move to the next, that is vagina. आता here is a vagina. vagina is elongated and muscular tube. Vagina is an elongated and muscular tube. It is highly elastic in nature. The length of vagina is variable, but near about the length of vagina is 7.5 centimeter. 7.5 centimeter. You know that vagina, it runs and open externally by means of an opening known as vaginal opening or vaginal orifice or meatus. The vagina, it is an elongated and muscular tube. Here I am going to draw once again. The vagina is internally lined by non-keratinized stratified epithelium. Non-keratinized stratified epithelium. Stratified epithelium means many layers of epithelial cells, but that cells does not show keratin, hard material. Non-keratinized stratified epithelium. Here I want to add some additional point. The cells of vaginal lining, these cells which form the lining of vagina, vaginaच्या आतल्या बाजूने हे जे पेशींचे थर आहे त्या पेशींमध्ये, त्या सेल्समध्ये ग्लायकोजन असतं. ग्लायकोजन असतं. यू नो ग्लायकोजन, पॉलिसॅकराइड कार्बोहायड्रेट. आणि या ग्लायकोजनचं फर्मेंटेशन करून त्या ठिकाणी लॅक्टिक ॲसिड तयार केलं जाण्याचं काम काही बॅक्टेरिया करतात. लॅक्टोबॅसिलाई मीन्स नॅचरली in the vagina of female there exist lactobacilli bacteria. Lactobacilli नावाचे बॅक्टेरिया वजायना मध्ये असतात आणि त्या lactobacilli नावाचे बॅक्टेरिया they bring about the breaking down or fermentation due to which the vagina of female is acidic in nature. It is acidic in nature and it is necessary to prevent the fungal infection to the vagina. लक्षात घ्या, हा खरं वास्तव एक इम्युनिटीचा पार्ट आहे की या ठिकाणी वजायना ही काय मॉइस्ट असते, ओलसर असते आणि त्या ठिकाणी फंगल इन्फेक्शन होण्याची शक्यता असते आणि ते फंगल इन्फेक्शन होऊ नाही म्हणून नॅचरली या ठिकाणी वजायनामध्ये लॅक्टिक ॲसिड हे तयार केलं जातं. वजायना इज टोटली नॉन ग्लँड्युलर. इट डज नॉट सिक्रीट एनी सिक्रीशन. ओनली द लॅक्टिक ॲसिड इज सिक्रीटेड हियर. सेकंड थिंग, द external opening. External opening, here I told you vaginal opening or orifice or meatus. It is believed that in virgin female, virgin in the sense we can say the female in which yet the sexual intercourse has not taken place. Is that clear? ज्या फिमेल मध्ये अजूनपर्यंत सेक्शुअल इंटरकोर्स झाला नाहीये, मेलशी सेक्शुअल मीटिंग झालं नाहीये, अर्थात अशा व्हर्जिन फिमेल मध्ये असं मानलं जातं की हे जे वजायनल ओपनिंग आहे या वजायनल ओपनिंग इज पार्शियली कवर्ड, अंशतः पार्शियली कवर्ड बाय अ थिन मेम्ब्रेन. त्या वजायनल ओपनिंग वर थिन असं मेम्ब्रेन असतं, पार्शियल अंशतः कव्हरिंग असतं, ज्याला म्हटलं जातं हायमेन. त्याला हायमेन असं म्हणतात. इनिशियली इट वॉज थॉट, सुरुवातीला असं मानलं जायचं दॅट द प्रेझन्स ऑफ हायमेन इज द साइन ऑफ व्हर्जिनिटी. अर्थात हायमेन असणं हे व्हर्जिनिटीचं चिन्ह आहे, व्हर्जिनिटीचं सिंबल आहे. कारण वी नो दॅट ऑब्वियसली वेन एव्हर इट ऑकर द सेक्शुअल इंटरकोर्स ऑफ मेल अँड फिमेल, ज्या वेळेला मेल आणि फिमेलचा सेक्शुअल इंटरकोर्स होतो त्यावेळेला when the penis is entrusted into the vagina, this hymen ruptures. अर्थात at the time of intercourse hymen ruptures. It means it breaks the virginity. But it is not true always. Mind well. Mind well. Hymen is very thin, very delicate. Hymen हे अतिशय thin असतं, delicate, नाजूक असं membrane असतं. And this hymen can rupture, can break even by different activities, even during running, even during jumping, even during cycling, even during swimming. This hymen can rupture, and that's why one should not have such type of this belief that the absence of hymen means that female is not virgin. Okay, anyway, so that's all about the vagina. Now what is the role of vagina? Just as I told you that vagina is female copulatory organ. Female copulatory organ. You know that we have seen while studying male reproductive system, penis is male copulatory organ, vagina is female copulatory organ. Means vagina, it receives the penis of male at the time of sexual intercourse. Second thing, the vagina, it acts as birth canal. It acts as birth canal. It means during parturition, during childbirth, that young one is expelled outside the body of mother through the vagina. अर्थात ज्या वेळेला बाळाचा जन्म होतो त्यावेळेला अर्थातच ते बाळ युटेरस मधून सर्विक्स मधून वजायना आणि या वजायनल ओपनिंग मधून अर्थात फिमेलच्या बॉडी मधून बाहेर एक्सपेल केलं जातं. म्हणून मी असं म्हटलं, दिस वजायना इट ॲक्ट्स ॲज बर्थ कॅनल. ऑल्सो दिस वजायना it also provides passage during menstruation. What is menstruation? Again we shall study later on. But at the time of menstruation, you know, the blood, mucus and different materials are expelled outside the body of female through the vagina. ज्यावेळेला मासिक पाळी येते त्यावेळेला अर्थातच या ठिकाणी जे ब्लड आणि इतर मटेरियल फिमेलच्या बॉडीमधून बाहेर टाकलं जातं. अर्थातच ते वजायना आणि वजायनल ओपनिंग मधून बाहेर टाकलं जात असतं. And now the next part is vulva, that is female external genitalia. Let us talk about the vulva. Actually, I have told you initially that vulva is nothing but the female external genitalia. Vulva, it is a term, it is a common term given to the female external genitalia. Now I am going to talk about the vulva, but before discussing about the vulva, here I am going to draw once again the diagram which shows the different reproductive organs along with excretory organs. Actually, in my previous introductory part, by drawing the diagram, I have explained you the same, but again I am going to draw the diagram for your proper understanding. So please look at the diagram. Consider this is supposed to be the pelvic region of the body of female. Just imagine this is the anterior side, that is ventral side of the body. This is anterior or ventral side of the body. Anterior or ventral side, ventral surface, and here is supposed to be, we can say, the posterior side of the body. This is supposed to be the posterior side. Posterior, or we can say back, dorsal side. I have already told you that in this pelvic region, here is a presence of, say, the urinary bladder. Here is supposed to be the urinary bladder. You know urinary bladder, it is the part of excretory system. Here is supposed to be the ureters. We have nothing to do with ureters now. Suppose here is the kidney, etc. What we people have studied in 11. Now we know that from urinary bladder it arises a duct, that is urethra, and that urethra opens outside by means of an opening called as urethral opening. Here is a urethral opening. Also I have already told you that here is the rectum, and the external opening of rectum is nothing but the anus. We know here is the anus. Now we have already studied in between urinary bladder and rectum. In between urinary bladder and rectum, there is a presence of uterus. There is a presence of uterus. Here is supposed to be the uterus. You know, uterus, that is womb, garbhashay. Already we have studied. And from this uterus, the vagina, it runs and opens outside by means of an opening called as vaginal opening or vaginal orifice. We have already discussed about it. Now we have to talk about the vulva. Here we have to talk about the vulva. Please try to understand. I already told you that vulva is nothing but the female external genitalia. Means what? It means the external or visible part of female reproductive system. External or visible part of female reproductive system, collectively termed as female external genitalia or vulva. Such as, I am going to write these names of that parts here, and then we shall discuss by drawing suitable diagram. It include the different parts, such as first, vestibule. First part is vestibule. Second, labia majora. Labia majora. Third, labia minora. Labia minora. Then clitoris. Clitoris. Then mons pubis. Mons pubis. And in addition to that, we can say the Bartholin's gland. Bartholin's gland may be called as vestibular glands. Bartholin's glands or vestibular gland. Now here by drawing diagram, I am going to tell you about all these different components of vulva. First of all, vestibule. Vestibule is nothing but a median vertical groove. A median vertical groove into which urethra and vagina open separately by means of urethral opening at the upper side and vaginal opening along the lower side. I am going to talk once again. What is vestibule? Vestibule म्हणजे काय याचा अर्थ मी तुम्हाला समजून सांगतोय. Vestibule याचा अर्थ, it is simply a median and vertical groove, median and vertical depression into which urethra and vagina open separately by means of upper urethral opening. By means of upper urethral opening. You can see here I am going to write urethral opening, and here is the vaginal opening. Here is the vaginal opening. Now here I am going to draw a separate diagram for your correct understanding. There is a vertical median groove. Here is a vertical median groove. This vertical median groove into which the urethra and vagina open separately. Now here I am going to show this is supposed to be the opening of urethra. Here is supposed to be the opening of urethra, upper opening, and here is the opening of vagina. Here is the opening of vagina. Vestibule, I am going to repeat once again and at last. Vestibule is nothing but a vertical median groove into which the urethra and vagina open separately by means of upper urethral opening and lower vaginal opening. Okay. Now come to the labia majora and labia minora. First of all, I would like to tell you that the labia majora and labia minora, these are plural forms. These are plural forms. हे अनेक वचनी रूप आहे. Singular labium majus, and its singular is labium minus. Now labium, it is a Latin term. It means lip. L-I-P, lip. Labium means lip. Now what does it mean? Labia majora and labia minora. First of all, let me talk about the labia majora. Labia majora are also called as greater lips or upper lips. Greater lips or upper lips. The labia majora are also called greater lips or upper lips, and these are nothing but simply pair of thick, prominent and longitudinal folds of skin. These are nothing but two pair of longitudinal and thick folds of skin present around the vestibule. Imagine here is supposed to be the labia majora. Just imagine. Here is supposed to be the labia majora. I said that labia majora are also called as greater lips, also called as upper lips. These are two longitudinal thick folds of skin present along the upper side and on both the sides of vestibule. Vestibuleच्या दोन्ही बाजूला हे जे स्किनचे थिक असे फोल्ड्स आहेत आणि वरच्या बाजूने त्यांना म्हटलं जातं लेबिया मेजरा. These labia majora oftenly show the development of hairs in sexually mature female. That is, we can say in adult female it may show the development of hairs. It may show the development of hairs on it. And just under this labia majora, त्या labia majoraच्या खाली, but around vestibuleच्या दोन्ही बाजूला, पण labia majoraच्या खाली there is a presence of again a pair of thin folds of skin called as labia minora. Let me show here with the help of white chalk. I am going to show these are supposed to be the labia minora. These are thin folds of skin, and these labia minora are hairless. They does not show presence of hair. Labia minora, and here is supposed to be the labia majora. Of course, in plural form. Labia majora, labia minora. Okay. Now, next part of vulva, that is clitoris. Clitoris is nothing but simply a very small erectile organ. It is a very small erectile structure, erectile organ present at the anterior junction of labia minora. Listen it carefully. Clitoris is nothing but a very small erectile organ, erectile structure present at the junction of labia minora. Please look at the diagram. You know, with the help of white chalk, here I have shown the labia minora. Now this labia minora of both sides fuse together in this manner, fuse together anteriorly and posteriorly. हे दोन्ही बाजूचे जे आपण म्हणूया की लॅबियम मायनस आहे सिंग्युलर किंवा लॅबिया मायनर आहे, ते या ठिकाणी वर एकमेकाला जुळलेले असतात, खाली पण एकमेकाला जुळलेले असतात. मग वरच्या बाजूला, वरच्या टोकाला अँटेरियरली हे लेबिया मायनरा जिथे एकमेकाला जुळलेले आहेत त्या ठिकाणी there is a presence of small erectile tissue, small erectile organ called as clitoris, erectile organ. Do you understand its meaning? Erectile organ means the organ which can show erection. Let me explain you. This clitoris is homologous to the penis of male. For MCQ, you have to remember this clitoris is homologous to the penis of male. It corresponds the penis of male. लक्षात घ्या, याचा अर्थ हा जो क्लिटॉरिस आहे ते क्लिटॉरिसची मेल इंडिव्हिज्युअलच्या पेनिसशी तुलना केली जाते. मेल इंडिव्हिज्युअलच्या पेनिसशी तुलना केली जाते, कारण पेनिस हा पण इरेक्टाइल आहे. इरेक्टाइल याचा अर्थ काय? वी हॅव स्टडीड लास्ट टाइम. द पेनिस कॅन शो इरेक्शन, isn't it? At the time of sexual excitement, ज्यावेळेला सेक्शुअली एक्साइटेड पर्सन असतो त्यावेळेला पेनिस इरेक्ट होतो. त्याच पद्धतीने क्लिटॉरिसचं सुद्धा इरेक्शन होतं, म्हणून त्याला इरेक्टाइल ऑर्गन असं म्हणतात. बट ॲज कम्पेअर्ड टू द पेनिस, दिस क्लिटॉरिस इज व्हेरी स्मॉल अँड इट इज सॉलिड. इट इज नॉट हॉलो. पेनिस बाबत आपण पाहिलं की पेनिस मधून युरेथ्रा पास होते, म्हणजे पेनिस हे हॉलो आहे. इथे मात्र क्लिटॉरिस हे सॉलिड आहे, हे हॉलो नाहीये. ओके, दॅट्स ऑल अबाउट द क्लिटॉरिस. नाउ कम टू द मॉन्स प्यूबिस. पुढचा भाग आहे मॉन्स प्यूबिस. मॉन्स प्यूबिस मे बी कॉल्ड सिंपली एज मॉन्स. मॉन्स प्यूबिस मे बी सिंपली कॉल्ड एज अ मॉन्स. किंवा फिमेल्स मध्ये स्पेशली मॉन्स प्यूबिसला मॉन्स व्हेनस किंवा मॉन्स व्हेनेरिस असं म्हणतात, कारण हा मॉन्स प्यूबिस जो भाग आहे ज्याच्यावर आता मी बोलणार आहे, ऑफकोर्स इट इज प्रेझेंट इन मेल. तो मेल मध्ये पण आहे, काय आता आपल्याला कळणार आहे. पण फिमेल्स मध्ये या मॉन्स प्यूबिसला स्पेशली मॉन्स व्हेनस किंवा मॉन्स व्हेनेरिस असं म्हणतात. काय आहे मॉन्स प्यूबिस? Mons pubis is nothing but a thick and fatty area, present upper to the vestibule and above pubic symphysis. Look, this much area, we can say this much area is called as the mons pubis. या एरियाला म्हटलं जातं mons pubis. We know that this mons pubis, it appears quite thick, fleshy due to the deposition of fats, and this mons pubis, it oftenly shows the development of hairs. It oftenly shows the development of hairs at sexual maturity. At sexual maturity, we all are know. Now come to the next, Bartholin's gland. Bartholin's glands are also called as vestibular gland, also called as vestibular gland. Here I have written vestibular glands. These Bartholin glands are a pair of small rounded bodies. These are pair of small rounded bodies present. Each one is present on either side of vaginal opening. Either side of vaginal opening. Let me show in diagram. You know here is a vaginal opening, isn't it? या ठिकाणी हे जे vaginal opening आहे ते इथे मी दाखवलेलं आहे, आणि या vaginal ओपनिंगच्या दोन्ही बाजूला वेस्टिब्यूल मध्ये या ठिकाणी अशा प्रकारे बार्थोलिन ग्लँड्स प्रेझेंट असतात. ओके, लेट मी यूज अनदर चॉक. नाउ यू कॅन सी ह्या बार्थोलिन ग्लँड्स आहेत. So Bartholin glands are nothing but very small rounded glands, very small rounded bodies present, each one on either side of the vaginal opening, and their ducts open into the vestibule. या ठिकाणी वेस्टिब्यूल मध्ये त्यांच्या नलिका उघडत असतात, अर्थात vaginal ओपनिंगच्या जवळ त्या नलिका उघडत असतात. आणि या ज्या बार्थोलिन ग्लँड्स आहेत, these Bartholin glands secretes a clear and quite viscid, means sticky material at the time of sexual excitement. ज्या वेळेला फिमेल ही सेक्शुअली एक्साइटेड असते, at the time of, we can say, the intercourse, that is sexual intercourse of male and female, ज्या वेळेला मेल आणि फिमेलचा सेक्शुअल इंटरकोर्स होणार असेल, त्यावेळेला फिमेल सेक्शुअली एक्साइटेड असेल, त्यावेळेला या बार्थोलिन ग्लँड एक स्टिकी मटेरियल सिक्रेट करत असतात अँड दॅट स्टिकी मटेरियल सिक्रेटेड बाय बार्थोलिन ग्लँड acts as a lubricant. It acts as the lubricant for the intercourse, means for the easy entrustment of penis into the vagina. So here I have explained you all the details related with vulva and simultaneously Bartholin glands. So here actually ends the female reproductive system.